This is the garden party, and we want a garden party with you. We talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The garden party.
Hey, welcome to the garden party. It is Wednesday evening, and it is going to be a Des and Des heavy episode this week. So I hope y'all are ready to hear us talk about how awesome Texas is.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But Des, what is going on? How are you doing?
Oh, you know what? I'm good. It is the last 4 weeks of school, so I'm a little bit swamped in that area, but I'm good. I wish it would rain around here. It's still a little too hot.
I was in Comfort. I was in Bernie and Comfort, and it started raining really hard yesterday.
I'm jealous.
And then I saw that San Antonio had a flash flood watch.
We do too, right now.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it never rains, and then when it does, it's like insane.
It's a tsunami. It's a deluge. We're in a severe thunderstorm and flood watch from
Thursday, right?
Until Friday, actually.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
We'll see what happens. I really want it to soak the ground so hard.
I know y'all want rain, but God, you don't want the nightmare that comes with some of the stuff that hits the hill country. It's so crazy sometimes. You were chewing ice before, and I was going to tell you. Yeah. So my wife chews ice a lot, and I just played the WebMD thing and Googled, what are symptoms of someone who chews ice, and they say it's a sign of anemia. Are you anemic? I
am not anemic. No,
you might be. It's usually signs of an iron deficiency because my wife has an iron deficiency.
That's not what my problem is. I just always like to be chewing on something. I just had a bunch of blood work done, and so no, I knew that you were going to go there because I think Jeremy may have looked that up one time too. He was like, "This is ridiculous," but it also has a lot to do with the fact that I'm hot all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm always chewing on ice, and I try to do that instead of snack on things.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Well, I think I used to when I first met Ashley, I smoked and I vaped, and then she had never smoked and vaped before, but when her mom was growing up, she used to chew on nicotine gum. So my wife, though she never smoked or vaped or anything, was addicted to nicotine gum. So she would always be smacking her. And I used to, one of my first jobs was at CVS. And I would notice there were people who would come in and they never bought cigarettes. They bought nicotine gum. And apparently it's more addictive than anything else because it's just straight nicotine. And it's crazy.
I've heard that actually because it's a lot more concentrated. It's also they say not to make this a smoking episode, guys, but they do say if you are vaping a lot, that it's more harmful than just smoking cigarettes because you can do it anytime, and it's in many cases odorless, and it's a lot more nicotine than you would get. Just don't do either. But
100%. No, it was harder to quit vaping than it was to quit smoking. I smoked for from I was 18 to 30 something. And I smoked for a long time. It was way easier to quit smoking than it was to quit vaping. But definitely quit vaping and smoking. But Haley has a good point. Tobacco is a plant, and there are other reasons to grow tobacco rather than smoking. People use it as an herb, right? It's they use it for tinctures. I think Tracy was talking about how people grow it for tinctures and stuff like that. I don't know.
I did hear that. Also, another reason to not smoke cigarettes and be a gardener is that you can actually give your tobacco-related plants the tobacco mosaic virus, and you don't want to do that. It's that's virus that can transfer from the tobacco on your fingers to your plant. It's weird.
Yeah, well, and another thing is I used to think cigarette butts would break down over time. They don't break down.
Never.
I have found stuff in raised beds and pots. I haven't smoked in 5 years. This is crazy. There's still cigarette butts in there. Oh my God. But we'll get off the tobacco talk. It is me and Des this week, and we actually I don't ever pay attention to what is it? Not Reels. What is the Instagram version of like Twitter? Threads.
Oh yeah, Threads. Yeah.
I saw one of Des's video on Threads, and I was looking, and she was talking about how I don't use any insecticides in my garden. And it's because of these lizards. And I was like, I use neem oil and all kinds of stuff, and I've got more lizards than you. And so
that's actually, I said pesticide free for them.
I got you.
Pesticide, not like insecticide, pesticide. But yeah, it is one of the reasons why I am pesticide free is because of the lizards. I will use a targeted insecticide if I need to, because Texas, we have long, hot growing seasons, and our plants look like a green, lush oasis to them. So we do use that around here, but we also try to do manual cultural control methods before we spray a pesticide.
And lizards are a big part of that. Lizards are fantastic. The green, brown, and anoles, I know they're not all native or whatever. Even the geckos, even though apparently geckos aren't native to our area either. But we talked about joking around about who had the most geckos and most lizards. And I was like, you know what, since it's going to be me and Des tonight going solo, Phil is driving back from his house, or from Pennsylvania. He's driving he got in a truck. He finally traded in his Hot Wheels for a truck. And so he's driving in. And then Josh has a church thing tonight. I believe it's a church thing. So it's going to be me and Des, and I thought it'd be cool. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with some gardening questions. I asked for 30 gardening questions going from easiest to hardest. And I figure we just go through and just ask some questions, and y'all can answer in the chat, go along with us, and then we'll come up with some of the answers and test our knowledge a little bit. Now, I'm not looking at the answers. I'm going to be looking just the questions. I have to scroll down real slow so I don't see the answers because they're very bottom. So I don't know the answers either. So awesome. We'll get started. Yes, this is the fall garden games. This was going to be the fall garden recap, but I was like, since it's just going to be me and Des, we'll wait till next week and we'll recap with everybody. So we'll do the garden games tonight. I like it. All right.
It's fun.
So question number 1, what is the process? And these are going to go easiest to hardest. So what is the process by which plants use sunlight to make their own food? And we're going to let y'all answer in the comments first before we answer. This is kind of an easy one. Bowtie said, this morning I saw a lizard head and front legs and top of a tail. Whole middle section was eaten by local tortoise shell covered cat. Oh my God. Yes, I've seen, my dog eats them too. Photosynthesis. There we go.
Yep. You're exactly right. It is photosynthesis.
Yes. And I actually like looking up like the Latin meanings of words. I've been doing that with some of the plants I have. And I would love to do the Latin meaning of photosynthesis if we can do that real quick.
I've just gone through so much photosynthesis stuff in school lately. You go right ahead, my love.
So photosynthesis is derived from the Greek words phos, which is pronounced phos, and synthesis. Phos means light, combining together. This means photosynthesis is the combining together with the help of light. That's what it means. Interesting. All right. That was an easy one. We're going to get a little bit harder as we go. Let's see. Question number 2. What part of the plant is primarily responsible for absorbing water and nutrients from the soil? So what part of the plant? You got 3 parts, right? Essentially 3 parts.
I mean, I guess you could be like very basic and say 3 parts of a plant.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Fig sticks. Yep. Got it with the roots. And now, and there are some studies that show that, I guess that water absorb the stomata can also absorb. So like if you do like a foliar feeding, the can absorb nutrients as well.
Right. There are little pores in the underside of a leaf that can facilitates gas exchange essentially on plants, and can also work through transpiration of, releasing water.
and they're gonna be open like in the early mornings and late evenings. That's why you do foliar feeding in the early mornings and late evenings like that.
Correct.
All right, here we go. Number 3. What do we call plants that complete their life cycle in a single growing season? This one got me confused a little bit. If like like it can be like you can get it backwards. You can get it back like a little bit off. Let's see. My dog ate a bee earlier and then tried to go back for another. They must taste sweet.
Maybe your dog just really likes spicy food.
My dad says that possums will come and attack his beehives, and they don't go for the honey. They just sit there and they'll munch on bees, like mash them up. So the bees themselves must taste somewhat sweet.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
Me and T got it with annuals. Yeah, so annuals are going to be an annual plant or a seasonal plant, and then you got your perennials there's perennials and there's like biennials and like there's all
right. An annual is it completes its life cycle in one season. A perennial comes back year after year, although some perennials do have a shorter or longer lifespan depending on the plant. And a biennial it'll complete its life cycle within 2 growing seasons. Kind of like if you plant hollyhocks one season, you'll get a lot of greenery, and the next season it'll flower. Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some weird ones out there too, like voodoo lilies or whatever too. They're like it'd be like it looks like a nautilus. I've got one in my yard. Yeah. So it's called a pink voodoo. I'll pull it up real quick. So it's a pink voodoo lily, and you plant it. It looks like a little nautilus shell, and it'll throw up the little like leaves one year, and like and then it'll get bigger and bigger every year, and then one year it'll throw like this big looking lily up.
Ooh.
It's really. Let me pull it up and show you quick. I haven't gotten the lily itself, but I've gotten the little shrubs that kind of pop up. Let me share this with you.
That's fun.
Yeah, I got it like randomly in like an order from Michigan Bulb one year, and I forget that it's in this. So I actually thought it was dead, and I planted my sago palm right on top of it almost.
Oh, I love it. It's got like a really cool spadix in the center.
Yes,
that's neat. It's like it's a part of the anthurium. It almost looks like a part of the anthurium family. That's neat.
It is. It's really neat. Yeah, but mine's only ever thrown, so it'll throw up the leaves first. Like it looks like this, like have a tiger stripe looking branch that pops up. That's all mine has done so far. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It comes back every year, but eventually it'll throw up. I went to a nursery over here in Houston, Enchanted Gardens one day, and they had a bunch of these like looking. Let's see if I can find a good picture of like what the actual leaves look like.
Oh, I
did a video when I think it was a year ago when I was. Let me see if I can pull up the. Let's see.
I'm going to answer Dave's question here in a minute too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Dave asked, like, how do you justify the annual title with a Principe Borghese tomato that lived for 2 years for me and produced the whole time? And the thing about that is that tomatoes, depending on the variety, whether it's an indeterminate or if it's a determinate variety. So an indeterminate will be a larger vine that needs like more support, and a determinate, usually sets a certain amount of set fruit and then it's done. So tomatoes that are grown in climates that are favorable for their growth, like, in some areas of Florida or in tropical areas where they can actually survive, will almost act like a perennial. And then for a determinate, honestly, it depends on the variety. Maybe that one was just it was a special one. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to have to look that up. But that's a very interesting question.
So this is what it looks like. This is all I've ever seen come up. Just this little trunk with these leopard prints on it. And it's supposed to come up like, it's weird. It's called Amorphalis conjac. That's the scientific name.
Do you know, it reminds me of the, oh my gosh, come on guys. What is it? My brain is like so fried. What's the one? The corpse flower. It reminds me of a corpse flower.
I think it's related to. I think it's related to that same family. I think the Amorphalis or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. We're already going off on tangents.
Love it though.
As we do on the garden party. Okay, here we go. Question number 4. Which common garden vegetable used in salsa and salads is botanically a fruit? Oh. Which even this one is a little bit of a debate too, isn't it?
In a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
Depending on who's answering the question sometimes. Yeah, me and T got it. But some people say tomatoes are berries though.
Yes. Right? Well, it is. Yes. So scientifically speaking, it's a berry, but since we eat it, so it's a fruit, but we eat it with like vegetables, and so we call it, we call it a vegetable, but it's actually technically a fruit. But that's always a fun one, tomato, tomato.
Just like we think of like a banana as a fruit, but it's technically a berry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm looking up this question real quick.
What was the question?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
Is it this one? Should humans be eating raw or cooked red meat and fish? You know what's funny? Actually, it's not funny. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
ADD. I was just gonna say of Dave's question about like his determinate tomato that sort of perennialized. It's still the same answer about an indeterminate tomato. If it is exposed to mild temperatures, it can actually perennialize, especially if you protect it. So I guess it will just, whenever it sets its fruit, it'll do it all at once, and then it'll go through a period where it doesn't, and then it'll set it all at once again.
Right. Well, in a determinate variety, determinate and indeterminate variety are, kind of like been genetically classified for mass production. So like a determinate variety would be like, your red snapper, some of these Rutgers, is literally been developed for the Campbell Soup Company. Like they literally, the University of Rutgers developed it. And so they harvest the mass, the largest mass all at the same time will ripen all at the same time. And they can harvest them all at once with machinery. If I've had Rutgers tomatoes and I've picked, quite a bit, if you let them continue to grow, they're going to produce, but more sporadically and not as often as probably like an indeterminate. And they are, I would say determinate varieties are probably more prone to like disease and stuff as the season goes on, because they're not used to living that long. They're used to being like grown in like a 90-day and then they're done, pretty much, like that.
I also think that determinate varieties are more suited for shorter growing seasons, because then you have a lot more control over when you're going to end up getting your harvest of tomatoes. If you don't have a long growing season, like somebody in, say Texas, Florida, or Southern state, where we can grow them several times. So a lot of people like in the colder climes will grow, the more determinate varieties. So they get a whole lot, especially if your motivation is like canning them.
Yeah.
Saving them for later.
To answer the question in the chat about the format of the show. So StreamYards has a new feature to where if you're watching like on your TV or your phone sideways, you could have the feature where it's, widescreen. If you're watching on your phone, like upright, like TikTok version, we have the portrait mode as well. But you can watch either one on YouTube. On Facebook, we moved to just the portrait mode because it makes more sense, because most people on Facebook are watching up and down. So that just makes more sense. So it's a new feature. We may go away from it on YouTube because it might be confusing for folks. But on Facebook, it definitely makes sense to do it like this because most people are watching it in this format, I would say. So hopefully it's not too confusing for everybody, but both options are available. Let's see. The next question. On a bag of fertilizer, what do the 3 numbers represent?
This is a good one. I want Destin to go in this hard.
Yes. Hey, and my friend Shelby, we did a garden club last week, and it was so much fun. I always tell everybody, and she gets tired of hearing this, I'm sure. I I always tell everybody that she's the steak and I'm the sizzle. You know, I'm what people hear, you know, and when she comes to the things with me, she's the substance because she knows more of the science. She's an Aggie, howdy.
Yeah.
And she is more scientific. She can answer the scientific questions. I'm more of like hands-on. I know that it works and how to use it. I don't necessarily know always how it works, but she had a really good representation. So we got the answer. It's NPK, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
Yep.
So a really good way to remember this, and she showed the demonstration. So you think of nitrogen, you think of up. You know, you put your hands up, nitrogen, right? So you get all the leafy growth, right?
Yes.
And you got the phosphorus. Phosphorus is going to help with the blooms, and it's going to help with the roots and everything. And then potassium is going to help with everything. You know, it's the whole potassium is like overall plant health. Overall plant health. I'm definitely going to be using that demonstration she did. So,
yes,
but yes,
and the numbers for the NPK are the percentage amount that's in the actual fertilizer formula. So 3, 4, 6.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so like I always tell people, I get a lot of questions about plumerias, which I did a little bit of analytic research, found out a lot of people find me from my plumeria videos, which I had no idea, which means I need to be doing more plumeria videos. But that's why like my company's Plumeria Food does really, really well. It's a 5-35. It's got a lot of phosphorus, so it's putting out a lot of blooms. You know, it's what you want. So, and if you have something that's like a tree and shrub or a lawn fertilizer, it's going to be a higher nitrogen. You know, a 10-10-20 or something like that. So, but so it's
I like what Dave said.
What do you say?
He said root shoots fruits, but yes, that's also what I've heard.
Yes. Well, see,
I like Destin's demonstration though.
Yeah, roots, shoots, and fruit. So roots is going to be phosphorus. So that's like when with like potatoes and onions, you're putting out like potash. So it would really be shoots, roots, and fruits. If you do the NPK, it'd be roots or shoots, roots, and fruits. Yeah. But yeah, let's see. What do gardeners call the average date in spring after which, well, it kind of gives it away, which frost is unlikely, making it safe to plant tender plants?
Yeah.
Like, come on, Chat GPT.
I know that one was really too easy.
Yes. It tells you like the answer is in the question. Yes, last frost date, or lady frost date. We're gonna use that one. Waiting on a lady frost date to arrive. We sit around mid-March. Lady frost date. Have you arrived? All right, here we go. So last frost date is the answer. Number 7. What long-handled tool with a flat blade is commonly used for scraping weeds and loosening soil? I'm gonna look that one. I didn't scroll down so far, but yeah. These might be
man. That was too easy.
How it's it's a
how.
It's a how. Let's see. Here we go. This is a good one. So I get this question a lot. Most sun-loving vegetables need at least how many hours of direct sunlight a day? That's a good one. I'm gonna double check. Yeah. You're close, Jay. Yeah, most people are going to say 6. Right?
Yeah, I think it's for the most part 6 and 10, depending on where you're located. Yeah. You know, like here, my vegetables can't take 10 hours of sun. But
right. Well, I mean, right now it's nice. I mean, we haven't gotten above 90 in like a week, and it's been kind of mild. So like, it's been really, really nice. I've been leaving the greenhouse open. It's been really nice outside. Really, really nice.
Everything is flowering in my backyard right now. I wish I had time to go out there and take a little video, but I'm just recycling. I'm taking. If y'all are seeing silly videos out of me, just prepared to see more of them, because I realized I have a lot of content I've never even shared with you guys. So
some of the best content I get is when I go back in time and like go back a year and like, what did I post? Like, oh, I can use that to make a new one, and it turns out really nice. So don't feel bad about that.
Oh my gosh, I've kind of been having fun.
It's like a second spring for me right now. Like I'm getting a little bit of a and next week I'm gonna be kind of on vacation, kind of. So I'm excited. Here we go. Number nine. What do we call the dark, crumbly material made from decomposed leaves, kitchen scraps, and yard waste that's added to improve soil? These are like kinder. Well,
I have no idea. Literally, who could know the answer to this question?
I mean, some kindergartners wouldn't know this one, but I'll say these are like elementary school, like the first 10.
These questions so far are reminding me of Josh's recent video he did of like just a beginner basics gardener video. Did y'all see it?
I have seen.
I loved it.
Yes.
It was so silly and wonderful.
You know, it's like some questions that aren't stupid questions. Like some questions aren't stupid questions. You know, like
there's no such thing as a stupid question in the spirit of learning. Period.
Yes, but I'm not always in the spirit. I say a lot of dumb stuff sometimes. So, I mean, don't feel too bad. So it is compost.
Okay.
It is compost. So this next question is going to be another obvious one. I'll kind of mix it up a little bit. So the bluebonnet is the state flower of which U.S. state?
Oh, gee. What could it be? Who?
But actually, I actually have some fun facts about. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, I do actually have some fun ones.
I got some stories too. Yep, there you go.
Ooh.
Oh, I got some people to ban in the freaking chat. Yes, it's not Alaska. It's not Alaska, but so it is Texas. Texas, the bluebonnet is the state flower of Texas. And a cool thing about the bluebonnet is there's several species of bluebonnet that are all combined to be the state flower. There's like six different like subspecies.
6 different varieties of bluebonnet, and they are all recognized as the state flower of Texas, and they are all members of the larger lupinus, I believe, family. For the larger lupines that you see in northern climes, but yeah.
And really cool. and that species of lupine is the only native lupine native to Texas, right? I think it's the only native lupine.
Right.
Yeah. Another fun story I heard is that if you're an Aggie out there, which I'm not, but I work with a bunch of them, they actually developed a maroon bluebonnet, right? There's a maroon bonnet, and you can get it. And I heard a story, and I need to Google this because I've been telling the story and I haven't actually fact checked this. But apparently, one of the main reasons that the Aggies developed the maroon bluebonnet is that they wanted to go. I heard they went somewhere at UT and threw out a bunch of these maroon bluebonnet seeds, and made like a whole field of maroon, and it's illegal to mow it, so that they couldn't. They had a whole maroon like part of like UT that they couldn't mow that was marooned out, and that was the whole thing.
I heard that.
I have to Google. I heard a story. Someone said that, or maybe I just gave someone an idea.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I honestly don't know. News to me.
I need to fact check that. But yeah, that would be funny. Oh, the first thing that pops up: maroon bluebonnets at UT. Oh my God! So it is true. Okay, it is true. Okay, let me look. I'm gonna put this. That's so funny. So let's see. Here we go. Just showing. Okay. Aggie pranksters color UT campus with maroon bluebonnets. A maroon bluebonnet, a maroon state version of the state flower is sprouted in the shadow of University of Texas. Flower beds containing brightly colored bluebonnets are home. That's so funny. But look at that beautiful.
I love it.
And I think it's pretty easy to get them, I think. But yeah, apparently they mixed in some maroon bluebonnets to prank all the UT people.
Oh, I love it. That's funny.
It's funny. Everybody I work with is an Aggie pretty much, and like they always talk about UT and the football and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know what to say about this. I don't have an opinion. Like, yeah,
are you a football person?
I was for a long time, but not anymore. I got too much going on.
Honestly, I've never really been into sports ball. There's like some running jokes in my family about how I was in marching band and thought there was a 60-yard line for the longest.
I was in the marching band in high school, but I never learned how to play music. We just had such a small school that they needed people to join the band, and me and my buddy were in a band, and so we just literally walked on, started playing snare drum and bass. Never learned how to play music. Just joined the marching band.
Love it.
All right, we're getting into the medium grade questions here. Okay, so number 11 is a multiple choice question, which is the only multiple choice question that ChatGPT gave me. The question is, what does the USDA hardiness zone system primarily measure? Is it A, soil type, B, average annual minimum winter temperature, or C, summer rainfall? Dude, I got to play snare drum, Jay. Okay.
It is B, guys.
Yes, that is B. So hardiness zones, which don't always trust your hardiness zones because they do move around. Anytime, like I'm not gonna say like a political statement here, but like anytime like a government entity is in charge of like telling you what grows here or what there, don't always trust it. You can grow a lot of things in certain places that they say you can't. Push the limits of your gardening, and it changes all the time. It just changed like 2 years ago.
You can grow anything. It just depends on your level of how much you want to be involved in taking care of it and your bandwidth.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm like, you need extra? I don't have the time.
I literally had my dad send me a picture of his neighbor's lawn today, and he's like, "What do you think's wrong with it?" And I was like, "Well, everybody's just trying to grow grass, and grass doesn't want to grow, so they should just stop growing grass. It's stupid. Like just trying to grow Bermuda and St. Augustine." I was like, "It's hard to grow because it doesn't want to grow."
Not here. It's not native to here. It don't want to.
I wish I was a grass guy. I take care of my grass, but like, and you like to mow the lawn. You mow the lawn. I've seen you. I've seen it.
I enjoy mowing the lawn. Yes, I do, but I don't put any extra resources onto the lawn. And the more I've learned about just turf grass in general and its benefits, and also just experienced it as a gardener, I have opinions about turf grass that, like I think it's ecologically important in some ways for helping to keep our houses cool. And I think that if we could just sort of transition into the idea that it's okay for us to have brown grass with a little bit of weeds in it, and that it goes through multiple periods of dormancy here in Texas, especially because we're plains land, right? We forget we put our houses on plains, and it's seasonality. It changes our grass. That I think we need our grass, but I don't think we need to be putting a lot of crap on our grass. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest grass person, but there's people that are into it. So I mean, they can be into it. That's fine.
Exactly.
Let's see. Number 12. A soil pH below 0 is described as what? This is a good one. A soil pH below 7 is described as what? I would say ideal. That'd be mine. Like just barely. Don't you want you slightly below 7 typically?
I think you want it to be around 7. I thought
around
between
7.
5 and 7. Between 5 and 7.
Yeah. pH is a complicated one. So it's acidic, below 7.
Most plants want a little bit of acidity. They just don't want too much acidity. And if it's too alkaline, then they really don't like that. So it's a balance, like you can, and it depends on certain things. Like a lot of people like to play with acidity to encourage, the growth of things like hydrangeas. They may want to change the color of them, or they might want to grow like blueberries or something in a place that doesn't have like a very acidic soil. And it can be difficult. So
yeah,
acidity, it plays a very large role in plant health for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, typically when you're getting like a bag soil, you're probably fine. But like if you're in the ground, you probably want to get a soil sample. Like I've never done a soil sample of a bag soil.
Right.
And they'll have soils that are specifically for like blueberries. They'll have acidifiers. And I will say, like, a lot of people believe in like pine needles and coffee grounds. They're not necessarily going to raise the acidity in your beds using them. I just tell people, if you have pine needles, it's a great mulch. But I don't think it increases acidity.
It doesn't. Not enough if you're using it like as a mulch, for sure. If your soil's not prone to it in any way, and it washes through if it's in a container. So you have to constantly replenish. So it's kind of just one of those things.
Bow ties. I need to acidify the soil under my peach trees a little. I don't know. I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. I mean, get a soil. If you're doing stuff in the ground, I would do a soil test. And I actually know this. I know this because I have to go back to Froberg's and do some samples because we were going to do a soil form for his Christmas trees. I didn't do enough samples. So if you have a large space, if you have a large area, you can either do soil samples of like individual areas in your orchard or whatever, or you can take a bunch of samples scattered around, take them in a container and blend them all up and get an average. You can kind of get what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to diagnose and what you're trying to grow and what your motivation is for sending it in, for sure.
Yeah. I bought the soil sample probe that doesn't have like the spring loaded eject, and it was like in the middle of summer when I was out there for it was like trying to take a sample of concrete. And then trying to get the sample out was like I cut my thumb like on the sample probe, like trying to get it out. And Froberg's like, yeah, usually when I do a sample, I just take a shovel and just dig a hole and just go do it. He goes, I don't usually use these probe things. He's not fancy like that.
Well, you don't have to have a probe. You can do it with a probe. You can do it with a spade. You can do a soil slice. There's many different ways.
You know me, I'm bougie.
Jay, you are right. Peach trees do not thrive in acidic soil. They do, or they do want a neutral pH. That is right.
Yeah, and I would say most stuff is going to want like a more neutral soil.
Neutral pH. Yes.
And stuff that likes acidic soil doesn't like a super acidic soil. It's not going to be that far on the other side of the spectrum.
Exactly.
I mean, it could be like a 6, like a 6 or a 5. Like they can push it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Number 13. What is the term for growing plants in pots, grow bags, or other raised?
Dang, man.
I blew it. Or other vessels instead of directly in the ground.
Oh, I got it.
Here we go. Yeah, Jay got it.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was gonna say raised beds, but it's container gardening. That's a good one. That's a good one. I messed it up.
Okay.
Oh, this is a really good one, Des, and you will be able to speak to this. Why is it generally a bad idea to plant tomatoes in the exact same spot year after year?
Ooh, I do know.
This is it's going to get harder.
I could go on a whole thing about this for a hot minute. So,
yeah, I mean, go ahead, because I mean it's going to be a longer answer.
Yeah, so it's not a good idea generally to plant the same exact plants regardless of what variety of plant it is in the same garden bed like year after year. You want to, even in raised bed gardening and backyard gardenings, you want to practice crop rotation for several reasons. Like number one, you want to really try to avoid any risk of ending up with nematodes in your soil, like root knot nematodes that could, inhibit the plant from growing properly. And you want to kind of confuse the pests. Some pests are really good about coming back to the same spot year after year. And because of nutrient depletion, just like Adventures with me and T said, because different plants have different nutritional needs, and some plants thrive better in a higher nitrogen environment. So if you're growing tomatoes in one bed and you're really trying to get that tomato plant to like grow really big, really quickly, you may be adding a lot of nitrogen in your soil in that one bed. And when you do, that could be unfavorable to another type of plant. So if you move tomatoes to a different bed and then you replace the tomatoes in that bed with like green beans are nitrogen fixing. Legumes are like beans, peas, and things like that. They'll thrive in the excess nitrogen in the garden bed that you were growing the tomatoes in. And so just the crop rotation is really helpful to make sure that you don't just develop a concentration of plant problems in one bed.
Yeah. It's always good to, so it's because I do because I do everything raised bed gardening, I'm constantly topping my beds off.
You need to
quite a bit. And so I don't rotate as much because I'm adding so much soil, and I'm honestly rotating through a lot of soil. Like I'll have a pot and I'll dump it off in the raised bed. So I'm constantly refreshing it. Not to mention I'm using stuff like neem oil and refreshing with the nutrients and everything like that. But if you're in a pot, and you want to grow in the same pot every year, it's in the ground. Yeah.
Eventually, even in a raised bed, you still need to be rotating your crops. Like, I'm not saying I'm always great about it. I'm not.
Yeah.
And yes, you do have like that opportunity for nutrients to wash through your raised beds a little bit more quickly. And we have soil compaction. So we do add things and nutrients back into the soil, but that doesn't mean that other pests aren't like lingering in there and can't be a little deeper in the garden beds and cause problems over time.
Yeah.
And you can get root knot nematodes in a raised garden bed real easy.
So someone else had brought that up to me recently about root knot nematodes. It's just a tongue twister.
It is.
I've never had any root knot nematodes, and if I did, I didn't notice it. Because I think that the root knot nematodes will hit a little later in the season where something might be dying out anyway. So if it was the nematodes, I just figured the squash or whatever was already dying out anyway. So if I did have it, I didn't know it. I didn't realize it. It just seemed, you get toward that heat of the late May and June where everything starts dying out anyway. But I have
deeper rooted.
Talking about that recently.
Yeah, your deeper rooted things are generally a little bit more susceptible to like root knot nematodes, and you can do things like add beneficial nematodes into your soil. But once you get them, they're pretty hard to get rid of, and sometimes you just need to like scratch that bed altogether and just get rid of the soil and start from scratch if you can.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a deep question.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That one we can go down a rabbit hole for sure. Like that one is and see, number 15. Which beneficial insect is famous for eating aphids and often welcome into the garden? So there's a couple of them.
There are a couple of them.
Lots of stuff eats aphids.
A lot. Mm-hmm.
One that definitely eats aphids that no one's probably going to answer today is I saw it on my Deserae this morning. It was a milkweed assassin beetle.
Mm-hmm.
It was two of them that were mating. They were butt to butt.
Those milkweed assassin beetle bugs though are there, aren't they? Don't they go out after the butterfly caterpillars too?
Well, yeah, but so will ladybugs. Ladybugs ladybugs eat each other.
That's true.
That's kind of the catch-22 of like, the organic gardening is that you will see like I've had a lot of green lacewings this year. A lot of green lacewings.
Love them. They're my favorites.
And you get those by having an aphid problem. So you get you get a lot of ladybugs coming around if you got an aphid problem. You get a lot of ants coming around if you got an aphid problem. So like you have a problem, there's solutions. And so, but if say like I ran out of aphids, the lacewings might start eating something else, or the wasp. The wasp are the most brutal of all of them.
Yeah.
Wasps were brutal.
Ladybugs, mealybug destroyers, which is actually a beetle that is covered in little spikes. They move a lot faster than the mealybug does, and they look really cool. They remind me of the little are they the Koopas or whatever from Super Mario? Yeah. Those guys. Mantis will eat aphids. The green lacewings, we said ladybugs. The milkweed assassins. Quite a few things actually prey on aphids. I love
parasitoid wasps eating aphids. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I do love those guys though.
Hoverflies will eat aphids.
Hoverflies are generalist predators too. Those guys are crazy. I love hoverflies. They're cool.
They're cool looking. They're really cool.
They are. I love those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yes. Let's go on to the next one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I love bugs, guys.
I
Dave, do you mean, Dave says, what about marigolds and root knot nematodes? Do you mean the idea that marigolds repel root knot nematodes? And if that is the case, I'm not sure that they necessarily do or they necessarily don't. I, as a general rule, like to just have marigolds in case. But they are a fantastic trap for spider mites. I will say that.
For me, they don't last long enough.
Honestly, like the heat gets to them. And the heat gets to them. Early on in the season, marigolds, I'm trying this year to seed a lot of them because they do, in a way, help protect my younger, like seedling plants that I want for the entire season from the early spring predators that like moist environments like roly-polies and things. So I think that they do have some value out there. They do also protect it. The slugs will go after them. Sometimes I'll just pull the whole marigold plant up and the slugs with it. But I'm not sure if I could say that I think they really repel the root knot nematodes. But I will still plant them and see, just to see.
Yeah.
Why not?
This is a question for Phil. What popular herb is used in pesto? Is known for bolting, going to flower quickly in hot weather.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this plant. And to be fair, favorite. You can use any green veggie in pesto. Like it doesn't have to be just this. Pesto is just what? Let's look it up. What is like the actual definition of pesto?
Oh, that's a good question. I've never looked up that, but yes, it is basil. I love basil. I grow so many varieties of basil. I constantly go out there and give it a haircut, and then I root it in the window in the house, and then I just go and plant it back out in the garden. I just have endless clouds of basil all over the place. Last week I went out there and I pulled up, it was like before it got pretty cold. It wasn't freezing, but I cut back a bunch of varieties and we mixed them all together into a basil pesto and made a pesto pasta. And it was so delicious. I love it so much. And all of the stems that I brought in are already rooting in the window. I'll plant them inside the house. I just love basil.
So pesto. So pesto is pesto genovese. Is an Italian paste, not a sauce. They call it an Italian paste. And I guess you do have to have basil, but you can have other stuff because like Phil says he puts like spinach and stuff in his. But pesto literally means is Italian for pestare, meaning to pound, to crush. The ingredients are crushed in a ground marble mortar and pestle. So, that's interesting. The Italians use mortar and pestles. I thought that was like a Mexican thing. Like I didn't think that was Italian.
Well, in Mexican culture, it's molcajete. and it's generally made out of like lava stone or
what came first though?
I don't know if it's a question of what came first. I don't
It could
know.
be one of those like things like dragons where they were just they're in artwork like all around the world and they couldn't be connected, you know? Like there's no way they could be connected unless they're real. Like
I think in a lot of cultures, like mortar and pestle was used in the medicinal world a lot throughout, like European countries. It's, been a valuable tool to crush up herbs for making medicines and things before we had modern pharma. Yeah. I think they're in every culture.
See, but I wonder, I wonder if that was brought over by the Spanish. I wonder if that was one of the things. I'll have to look that up later on. That's a good little trivia thing.
That's a good rabbit hole.
I am Bugs Bunny when it comes to rabbit holes. Let's see. Number 17. Adding mulch around plants helps conserve soil moisture and reduce what unwanted competition. So for me, it isn't necessarily true.
Yeah. It's a real great question.
Yeah. So we can get into this because like y'all would mulch around your yard for, conserving moisture around the base.
I have to.
They're saying that it prevents, like it's a preventative for weeds. But
it is a preventative for weeds.
But so like in my mulch, like the grass likes to grow into the mulch. You know what I mean? Like the St. Augustine stuff likes to grow into it.
So, okay. Yeah. So this is a good one. All right. So the recommended depth that you need to grow of mulch that you really want to lay is between 3 and 4 inches of mulch under any plant that you want to conserve moisture in. Most weed seeds are too small and they need surface sowing and a little bit of light in order to germinate. And so the idea is that the mulch is deep enough that it's going to suppress that weed seed from coming up. When you think about grass, though, grass spreads via runners, right? And runners will run across your mulch. And so, yes, they'll have more of an opportunity to like take hold in there. But it's generally like the same kind of situation where you don't want to just like scatter like your flower seeds on top of your mulch, because not all of them are going to germinate if they're small enough that their planting depth is, minuscule and they need light to germinate. So there can be there's a lot of good reasons to use mulch in a lot of places. And then in some areas, you don't want to use as much mulch because you have too much of a moisture problem. But generally speaking, mulch is always a net positive because then it helps to like build beneficial mycorrhizal fungi in the soil, and it helps to break things down, and it feeds your plants over time, and it conserves water, and it suppresses weeds in your flower beds. But yeah, of course, like grass can like spread into your mulch and stuff.
Do you remove your mulch?
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I never ever remove my mulch.
No, I've never done it.
You do not need to.
I've never done it.
If I do anything, I will occasionally, I'll peel back some of my mulch layer around my like large perennials, and I'll lay some compost, and then I'll put the mulch back, and then I'll lay fresh mulch on top of old mulch because I want that mulch to continue to like break down. And depending on the garden bed. Yeah. And depending on the garden bed, like I may be just trying to lasagna up anyway. So no, like I know there are a lot of people that their motivation may be removing their mulch, maybe that they want a particular color out of their mulch. A lot of people really like dyed mulches around their house and use them artistically and things like that to, make focal like interest. But for me, I like to use undyed natural mulch that doesn't have extra chemicals, that is colored through natural aging, and I just leave it there. Yeah.
I mean, mine usually breaks down and washes into the giant cracks in my yard. Like, so it's breaking down or filling in the gaps that go away to China in my yard right now. Let's see. Number 18. What is the term for planting flowers, herbs, or vegetables together because they are believed to help each other out? For example, marigolds and tomatoes. See, so Bowtie told me just now there's a way to get them to not put the answers in the question because they literally threw the answer in the question on this one. I had to change it up. But yeah, it is
companion planting.
Yes. Yeah. And do you do companion planting? Like when do you do
I hardcore companion plant. Yeah. I am a big believer in an ecosystem permaculture approach almost in my gardening, and the square foot gardening method ideology of like diversity and planting multiple things together can help to benefit other things and help them grow more effectively with less pests. On the years that I have not as densely planted in a diverse way, I've had a lot more pest pressure. I've had to like water my plants a lot harder than the times that I didn't utilize companion planting. And also, companion planting is fantastic for most backyard gardeners because we're working in very small areas or areas that like a farm would not have. And so you want to utilize all the space that you can. And so through companion planting, you can grow things above the soil and things below the soil. So you can be growing carrots under your tomatoes or, root crops underneath your tomatoes or shorter herbs under there that might benefit from a little bit of shade in the summer. I mean, you do have to be careful because some plants are allelopathic and they'll release like chemicals that can affect the growth of other plants. But generally speaking, yes, generally speaking though, and sunflowers, companion planting is the goat. Totally.
Yeah, I don't think about it like when I'm planting. I'm usually just trying to fit so much. And everything's so close together. My whole garden is like companion planted. Like they're not always planted like right next to each other, but everything is within 20, 30 feet of everything, So like it's kind of a mixed bag. My garden is a little bare right now, but like it's I like it though. I would love to focus more on it. And Kay definitely she sent me a book. It's over here somewhere.
Oh, awesome.
Kay, drop the link, and if you can drop the link in the comment section,
I'll run to buy that, Kay.
Yeah, I'll let me look. I know I've got a lot of books in here because anybody that comes on, I get their book. So I got a bunch of books. Let me see the next question, and I'll actually look for it. Give me one second. Here we go. Next question, number 19. Which common kitchen ingredient can be sprinkled around certain plants to deter slugs, snails, because of its sharp texture? Okay, I've heard this one. I've heard this one before. I don't know about this one, but I'm sure people have their. You know what it is? Yeah, we got to
let it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, is it eggshells? Is it what is it? Yeah, it's eggshells. Yeah. Eggshells are an interesting thing to add into the garden. A lot of people think that, okay, here's my take on eggshells. So eggshells, unless you're finely powdering them, don't really have much plant available, like immediately plant available nutrients in them. They really have to break down over time before your plants can take them up. I mean, that'll take a really long time. I would not say that adding crushed eggshells into your garden beds is a good idea for you personally, just because they can be sharp when you're digging around in there. And I don't know that I would say that they do the best job at deterring slugs and snails. I am also of the idea that diatomaceous earth would probably be the best option for that because it's a desiccant. But I also
as long as it stays dry. As long as it stays dry.
Yeah. And I also don't love to use that just because it does have the potential to harm earthworms. And, I like those guys, but that's just my take.
But you're a big fan of the beer traps, aren't you?
Yes, I will use a beer trap for slugs and snails.
She posted a video
and roly-polies.
That's what it was.
I did, but listen, I would much rather use that any day of the week
and
because it's organic. You can dump it straight into your garden and bury those buggies right back in there. And also, it does not have the potential to harm wildlife. Like you're not going to hurt a possum or a raccoon or your dog or a cat that's been digging around in your garden. I know we don't necessarily want cats out there, but we also don't want to just have, sluggo out there or whatever. That's just my opinion on it. I know everybody's different, but I try to be really careful.
I got so many stray cats in my neighborhood right now. It's insane. Like I'm waiting to start digging around and finding a cat turd in one of my raised beds and be so mad. Ugh.
Yeah.
You do not want stray cats pooping in your raised beds.
It's really bad. It's not
if
good.
You have especially during the winter time when you probably maybe don't have something growing in your beds, put like a tarp or something over the bed to cover it up to keep those cats and rats and stuff burrowing in those things. You don't want that happening. Do you ever have mice or rats digging around, like burrowing in your stuff?
I am not going to lie. I have, because I have chickens, I do have rats. And also I live in a city. So we have rats here. So we have to be very careful. And we see them. If you put out bird seed, you're going to see a rat. If you know what I'm saying? Like we also lately, this is fun. We have a couple of owls in the neighborhood. And so at dusk and dawn, they're hooting to each other in the trees. So they've been taking care of the rat stuff, which is another reason not to use rat poison.
Yeah, rat poison is bad.
Yeah, snap traps. It sucks, but it is what it
is. There's actually a guy on YouTube who does like mouse traps. Have you seen that? Like he does like experimental mouse traps that are like eco-friendly. Yeah, typically he doesn't show it. He uses like antique ones and like ones that like just catch them in a bucket, rather than anything's better than poisoning them, because if the rat or the mouse eats that poison and goes out and something eats, if a cat eats it or a fox or an owl, or that's like the number one thing that's like hurting like the California condor is like rat poison.
Yes. It's bad. It's not, of course they pose great, risk to humans as well through, their feces and everything else. And we need to be careful about them. But also I think we do have a responsibility to try to be kind to the wildlife as well.
Yeah.
And our choices.
Squirrels are just big rats with tails. You got plenty of those.
Yeah. And also and back on the cat thing, do not let your indoor cat outside to go deal with rats out there, because what if they eat rat poison? And also they do actually eat and disrupt nesting birds in trees. And we don't really want to be hurting bird populations. That is a hill I will die on every day. Yeah. It's dangerous for your cat. It's bad for the bird population. It doesn't do it. It's just not responsible. Please don't do that. And there's coyotes. Yeah. The cats don't deserve that.
I used to have some cats in my backyard in the garden, and I had some strays, and they weren't strays. They were my neighbor's cats. And so I'd put a have a heart trap out and be catching them. And I'd call my neighbor and say, "Hey, here, I got your cat. He's in this cage. Come get him." If you live in a neighborhood, be responsible. Be a responsible pet owner. Do not let your cat out to go poop in everybody else's yard. That's so disrespectful, and you should get fined for something like that.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. It's just also it's not good for the cats. It's bad for the cat.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Especially if they're not fixed.
Yes.
Okay, 20. In the classic Three Sisters planting used by indigenous people, what three plants are used? It gives you the answer in the question. So like, but what are the three plants that are grown in the Three Sisters technique? I've never actually seen, like, I've seen some videos on this. I've never actually seen it work well. Maybe on a larger scale, like they used to. Maybe
I think it needs to be larger scale. My squirrels get to my sunflowers before they get like too awful big. Anyway, dadgummit, I love my babies, but Lord, every time I get so upset, I'm like, leave them alone. Anyway.
I thought of you at Rainbow. I thought about you at Rainbow Gardens yesterday. I was there, and these squirrels had no fear of humans whatsoever, and they were literally just grabbing the snapdragons out of the 4-inch pots and just ripping them up, and they'd put their acorns in there and put them back. Like it's like they're jackasses. They do not care what's.
They're so silly too. Like they'll dig it up and then you just put the plant back on top of it and then they forget that it's there anyway. And so it's just like that's why they're such great. That's why I call them farmer squirrel, actually, because they're excellent foresters.
That should
they
be
are.
That'll be your kids' book. Your farmer squirrel.
Farmer squirrel. Yeah.
It is corn, squash, and beans. So what like the idea is what you plant your corn, let your corn start to grow like a foot, and then you plant your beans, your pole beans, they climb up the pole, and then you plant your squash and it acts as a ground cover.
Right.
And that's how they used to do it back in the day, apparently. I don't know.
I think you need to be planting a whole lot at one time
for it to work.
And also like, over time species of plants have changed and who knows if we're using the exact
that is so true
of
the
plants.
The corn they were using was probably way different than the corn we have today.
Totally different than what we have today.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Three Sisters. All right, we got 10 more questions. Are you good, Des? Are you good? We got 10
I'm good.
These are hard questions. These are really hard questions. All right?
I don't know if I can do it.
Let's do it. We got this. All right, here we go. Number 21. What is the term for the gradual hardening of seedlings by exposing them to outdoor conditions before planting them in the ground? Come on.
It's in this one. Oh, Lord.
I'll read ahead on the next one.
Exactly. Adventures with Me and T.
It's hardening
Exactly. G&G Farms and J.
Well, exactly. Des, explain why this is so important while I go over the next question.
All right. So you want to harden off your seedlings because you don't want to take them from the nice, perfect temperatures inside and expose them to harsh outdoor temperatures all at one time. And so the idea is that you gradually introduce them to outdoor temperatures by taking them on little field trips, and then you bring them back inside until they get strong enough that they can withstand the outdoor temperatures. So it's really important, like if you have your seedlings inside growing under grow lights, or you have them in a shady area, that you expose them to direct sun slowly and intentionally. The worst thing that you can do is accidentally forget that you put them out there for a 30-minute field trip and not set a timer on your phone. And then like they are just totally burnt up.
Yes. Well, so and to the same extent, like if you have something indoors that you propagated or whatever you had indoors, exposing it to the heat from going an indoor plant to, like if you did water propagations, you want to do slow exposure, hardening it off to the heat compared to what you were going inside. It can definitely
even depending on like what it is. Like sometimes what I do with my water propagated or whatever things from inside the house, I will try to choose a more mild overcast day, and I'll plant it the night before. So it'll be in the ground all night long, and then it'll spend the morning temperatures kind of like gradually acclimating. So that is a smart thing, yes. And you want to do it early in the morning if you're going to do it.
Absolutely.
If you can.
Well, we kind of covered this earlier. I don't know if everybody was in the chat, so we'll go ahead and ask this one. So mini fertilizers are going to give you the NPK and the numbers. So which one of those letters promotes strong root growth and flowering?
It's potassium, right? Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to answer.
You got it wrong anyway.
Phosphorus anyway. It's phosphorus. I don't know what I was with phosphorus.
Well, you know what? Potassium is stupid for being K anyway. So like it should.
Right.
I hate the elemental table. I don't know why potassium is K anyway. It's stupid. Unless you spell potassium K, it's like silent K. Potassium.
Potassium. Yeah.
Potassium.
Potassium.
All right, here we go. We'll go to number 23. But yes, phosphorus is going to be what you would need for flowering and root growth. Let's see.
How would you harden off seedlings if they are growing in the same climate that they will be planted in, same greenhouse? You wouldn't need to harden them off.
Wouldn't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, this is a hard one. What is the general name? What is the general name for ooh. What is the general name for the mutually beneficial relationship between plant roots and fungi that helps plants absorb water and nutrients more efficiently?
Like, okay, so is this asking what the beneficial relationship is called, not the actual fungi, right?
Yes and no. Yes and yes. You know
It
it.
is.
You know it.
I do know it.
Yeah.
I do know it.
Yeah.
Adventures just got it. It is symbiosis, right?
No. So the term
Then
uh-uh.
what? I do know it. I'm sure I know it.
This is a tough one. This is a hard one. So I'll give it another minute. Look, some people guess. Let's see. Because based on the clues in the question is where you probably I wouldn't have got it exactly, but so it's mycorrhizal association.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna say, but I was simplifying it with symbiosis because I don't think a lot of people would think like mycorrhizal association, but that is actually
Right. Well, and that's why we add mycorrhizal fungi to fertilizer.
It is a symbiotic relationship. Jay is right. It's fungally symbiotic,
Yes.
but it's
Yes.
technically called mycorrhizal association.
Yeah, and there's the beneficial and the fungi in the questions kind of I kind of goes, oh, it's mycorrhiza. Yeah.
Well, I knew it had something to do with that, but I just
yeah.
It was tricky. That was a tricky question.
She was trying to figure out how to I cannot spell mycorrhiza or mycorrhizal. I can't do it either.
I had to write it so many times recently, so I'm good.
Right. So we kind of asked this one earlier, but we'll kind of see who remembered it. A plant that comes back year after year from the same root system is called what? Someone said homeostasis.
Homeostasis always makes me think of Biodome.
Biodome. Yes, I love Biodome.
One of my favorite movies of all time. So
oh my God.
Stupid.
Oh my God. My aunt would babysit us and she only had like 3 VHSs. And one was like Biodome, Son-in-Law, and I think like
I love
my cousin Vinny. I love Pauly Shore movies. Oh my God, they're so hilarious.
Me too. Jeremy,
you guys got it.
It's Pauly one time. My husband met Pauly Shore once.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
On like TV, doing TV stuff or what?
No, he was in LA and he was just like he went to a comedy club and it was a really small one. And just for whatever reason, Pauly was there with like a couple of other comedians just randomly and showed up to give like a really small set and was like ragging on him. Apparently, just making fun of Jeremy. And he ended up meeting him.
That's a lot of people don't realize that his mom owned the Comedy Store.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, because at the Comedy Store in LA, his mom like discovered like a lot of the like real famous comedians, and so he inherited the Comedy Store after she died.
Maybe that's where he was. I literally could not tell you. I don't know the exact story, but Jeremy he tells it, and it's so funny whenever he does.
that is funny. Let's see. What term describes a plant that is adapted to survive with very little water, such as many cacti and succulents? Ooh. Yes. So you'll hear this term used, for landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they take that term and
read it one more time.
Yeah. What is What is wrong? Oh, where the hell did it go? What term describes a plant that is adapted to survive with very little water, such as many cacti and succulents? Yeah, Bowtie got it. I mean, it's xerophytic. Xerophytic. It's like xeriscaping. Like, and people think like xeriscaping is like just rocks, DG, and like that's not really what xeriscaping is. But
with an I. A lot of people think xeriscaping is with an O, xeroscaping, but it's xeriscaping.
Well, this is spelled xero-phytic.
Well, I think that's because it's describing the plant itself.
And maybe so.
Xeriscaping is.
Are you arguing with artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
The machine tells us. All hail the machine.
It's xeriscaping.
Right. Damn you, ChatGPT. Well, here goes the next one. Some plants flower only when the night length is long enough, like in many chrysanthemums.
Mm-hmm.
These are called what type of plants? I've never heard this term before.
I probably know the term, but I've forgotten it, to be honest.
Well, I've never heard it be used for mums.
It's not
but I've heard it for other types of plants, though.
It is a term, or is it a set of words?
Yes.
It's a set of words?
Yeah.
So it's like
you got it.
Short day plants?
Yeah, there you go. You got it. You got it.
I was like,
yeah. I've only heard short day onions before. I've never heard short day plants besides that.
Well, there's a difference because there are short day onions, but there's long day onions. There are short day plants and there are long day plants. And, like your short day plants are things like, your violas and your petunias and, your mums and things like that. And then your long day plants are, more like your zinnias and your tomatoes and things that, really need a long amount of day length in order to actually produce or flower or whatever. So
that's interesting. I'd never heard that term before besides the onions. That's the only time I've ever heard it used like that. So that's interesting. All right. We're very familiar with this term. Let's see. If there was anybody else besides me, Phil, and you asking this question, nobody would probably know what it is. But what is the practice of cutting a piece of stem or leaf from a plant and encouraging it to root in soil or water in order to create a new plant?
Ooh, I know this one.
Everybody better know that one.
Yeah, for real.
Well, you know what was cool? I was at a really, really neat, like, Norwegian style grower, and they were doing Hoyas from just the leaves.
Oh
yeah, it was really cool.
There are a lot of plants. There are a lot of plants that you can. Yes, it is propagation and propagate. There are a lot of plants that you can actually propagate from leaf cuttings, like African violets, begonias. Peperomias. Peperomias, you can do, I think, leaf and stem cuttings, I believe. Don't get me wrong. I think you can do the same with begonias. A lot of things do propagate by leaf. Like a snake plant is technically propagating by leaf. You just have to make sure you get the right direction into the ground and let it harden over first. But yeah, it depends on where their terminal growth is, or primordial growth.
Freaking Dave, Propellergate.
Propellergate.
He's been drinking that pirate rum tonight. Oh my goodness.
Send some to me. No, I've got homework after this.
I've seen Dave's pirate get up. I've seen it. Here we go. Number 29, second to last. Here we go. Which major plant nutrient is most associated with deep green leaf color and lush vegetative growth. Vegetative growth and deficiency often shows as yellowing leaves. They did not make them harder at the end.
No, that's an easy one. Too much of this thing can also be a bad thing.
Yes, both the last two are kind of easy, but I guess like they wouldn't know. The ChatGPT wouldn't know like whether that one's hard or not. But it is nitrogen. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Definitely nitrogen. All right, here we go. Last question, Des. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You ready for another brain buster?
Yes.
Number 30. What is the term for a variety or selection of plant that is that what I think it is? Oh, no. Okay. What is the term for a variety or selection of a plant that has been deliberately bred or selected by humans for certain traits like color, size, or flavor? It's actually a good one. I thought it was going to be something else.
Read it one more time.
What is the term for a variety or selection of plant that has been deliberately bred or selected by humans for certain traits like color, size, or flavor? Nope. None of them yet. Nothing yet.
Selectively bred for color, size, flavor.
I only know this because I've been getting into a lot of cactus recently. Yep, Jay got it.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, so I have to do a lot of Googling whenever I go to these cactus shows because they do so many cultivars and different stuff. Like it'll be like Astrophytum mysterious CV snowstorm. Like what does CV stand for? It's like cultivar. And it's like, yep. So that's a good one. That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of scientific writing.
Is your brain busted already? And you got to do homework after this?
Oh yeah, I do. I do have to do homework, guys. Well, I've got a science lab going right now. I wrote a lab last weekend. I have a 2,000 word paper I'm working on currently. I have 5 hours of lectures to sit in this coming week. But I'm excited. I'm this season, not this season, this semester is going to wrap up well. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Well, hopefully you leave tonight smarter and not dumber. Usually when people hang out with me, they're dumber when they leave. So like,
you know what?
Hopefully tonight has been advantageous.
It has. I feel like I do feel smart, or I feel smarter, even if the questions were not always difficult.
Well, me and you don't get as much time to hang out as just us. So I appreciate the evening getting to hang out with you and everything because we love you and we don't always get to be with you. And so you know. Yeah, and we are. I talked to Phil earlier, and so we are going to be. We're going to be starting like in the second or third week in December. We're going to be going to Tuesdays because like the last 3 weeks of December we'll be going to Tuesdays because Christmas Eve's on a Wednesday and New Year's Eve's on a Wednesday, so it makes sense to like do the last 3. And then we do have a guest for January 6th. But I think we're going to take like a couple weeks off. I think we talked about possibly taking like a couple weeks off in between like seasons, like quarterly, just to kind of, regroup and have some time. Because having the Wednesdays every Wednesday is kind of a lot sometimes, especially now with my schedule.
Same.
I hate having to do this from a hotel room or in my truck. And so, but we'll probably go through January 6th. And then we'll probably take like 3 weeks off and then come back in February. But I
think that's a great idea. I'm going to be on a semester break between like the 9th of December and January 14th. And also it's holiday rush for hairdressing. So, I'll let you know what that looks like for me because I do know that some Tuesdays I'm generally there until like 7:30.
I do need a trim, Des. I do need a trim.
Yeah, just a little one. I don't know. It is woolly bear season, though. And it is November. Leave it alone.
I know. I see it in my DMs all the time.
November.
My God. Well, I appreciate you giving us some time tonight. Thank you so much for being on. I really don't have many events planned for the rest of the year. I'm going to be doing some Christmas things. Like I'll be over in at Moz, which is in Webster, in December, but I'll announce that. But make sure you're following Des on all the socials. She's on TikTok. You do a lot on it. You do like a lot on TikTok. I feel like you're more interactive on there sometimes.
I do, but I'm going to be really honest. I have not, because this has been my first semester back at school in 20 years. I have not been posting as much lately, but everybody started tracking me down in my DMs on all the platforms. And they were like, "Are you okay? I've been trying to figure out if you're alive." So I'm trying to be better about posting across platforms and showing up again. And G&G Farms, yes, I am a hairdresser. I've been a hairdresser for going on 20 years professionally. And so that is my day job, but I'm definitely trying to have an encore career. And that's why I'm going to college for horticulture. And I'm loving it. It's challenging, but I think that it's the right path to be on. I don't know how I'm going to focus it yet, actually, but I have so many options. Am I going to major in sustainability, minor in entomology? Am I going to like get into greenhouse production? What am I going to do? I don't know.
Greenhouse. You want to come sell fertilizer? You know, whatever.
Right. I don't know. Maybe I'm like seeing you go do all this fun stuff all the time. Like he's in every single. I'm so jealous. I'm just like stalking his pictures and videos from all these little nurseries he go. Oh my God.
It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct of my job. You know, like I was in a Comfort yesterday morning, and God, it's so beautiful out there. It's so beautiful out in West Texas. Like I want to start. I was even telling people that I committed to going to Sacramento for the Fig Fest with the Fig Hunter next August, and so I'm excited to go like west of Austin, go all the way West Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and on the way back, I'll do Utah. I want to go through Lubbock and see Vikram. Shout out to Vikram. He said in January, February, he'll be able to come on more often as well. So,
good. Also,
Kay, thank you for coming by the sale on Saturday. Kay was at the sale on Saturday, so shout out to her.
Text me the link to her book. And if you do go to get Vikram to take you to the greenhouse at Texas Tech.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I'm gonna if I go, I'm gonna take like a 2-week trip because it's 24 hours. It's a 24-hour drive to Sacramento. So like, if I go that way, I'm gonna take a week to get there and a week to come back, and I still have like 4 days of my trip to Alabama I haven't edited. I've got literally like 20 something videos to edit that I haven't, but I'll have like the last 2 weeks of December off. And so I'm excited to get caught up. So be on the lookout for that. I will start posting. Hey, and I would do this too, Des. Post your posts on YouTube as regular things, because I actually have some people show up on Saturday who don't follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or anything, only follow me on YouTube, and show up to that event in San Antonio just from the post on YouTube, which I didn't know there were people that actually use it as a social media factor. So that's cool. On
like your shorts or on your long form or just in your community posts?
So when you go, on a community post, like if you have like events or like if you're promoting stuff, definitely use that as well. Like pictures and stuff. I didn't know people actually did that. So that's pretty neat.
I have been posting a lot more across them and trying to grow that as well. I had my community turned off. I didn't know that, guys. Amateur hour.
Guys. Hey, thank y'all so much for being here with us all. Thank you so much for being with us all night, guys. We thank you very much. We'll see you next week for the Thanksgiving break. Bye.
Bye.
This is the garden party, and we want a garden party with you. We talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The garden party.